Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Ultima Final Fantasy, the ultimate in ball-busting Final Fantasy podcast. I'm your host, Caleb.
I am Joe.
And today, we're going to be talking about Bravely Second End Layer, or as I like to call it, Bravely Second Ballsack. There's a lot of ball talk in this game if you haven't played it yet.
Not enough. Not nearly enough.
No, and it's always funny, and it's always innuendo-laden. Yeah, the balls are like some kind of extra-dimensional evil bad guys. They don't look like testicle. One of them kind of does, actually, but well, there's a round ball.
Sure.
The other balls are kind of like not really balls, but it's referring to ball as like the nature-ish god of
Baal.
like,
Yeah.
Baal or whatever of like the Norse people. So it's not actually balls, but it is. Yeah. So
Is that a Nordic thing?
I think so.
I
think that's
thought
what
Baal
reading.
was like... Gosh, I thought that was like Carthaginian or something like that. I have no idea.
Let me see.
Oh, yeah. Let's take 20 minutes and Google real quick what a Baal is.
Yeah.
Bravely Second End Layer. Probably the only title that could be worse than Bravely Default.
Yeah. I mean, I like the idea of Bravely Second, and then like if you went Bravely Third, that'd be kind of cool. Yeah, End Layer. You add End Layer on it, it's like, all right, now it's just stupid.
But
Like, what does that even mean?
Bravely
you know?
Second is also, what does that even mean from the outside? If you've never
Nothing.
played the game, it means nothing.
It means this game's going to only sell 700,000 copies. That's what it means.
End Layer. What is the End Layer, Caleb?
I think it's just the last time you go into a different dimension. It's the final dimension in which you fight the boss, I would assume.
So you don't even know.
I don't know for sure.
Okay,
I
cool.
knew for like 2 seconds, and then I beat the game like 3 weeks ago, and I forgot.
Well, I played the game and I went, I don't know what the End Layer is. I don't know. Unless it's like the End Layer of this story, because they're not going to pick it up in Bravely Default 2.
No, they're not. Bravely Default 2 changes a lot of stuff.
Not that we know already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have, not that we're each double digits on the hours in that game or anything.
Yeah, Bravely Second End Layer we both beat this weeks ago.
Yeah.
And so we have both forgot it entirely. So this is our review. I remember liking it. Anyway, that's it. Thanks for listening. We'll see you guys next time.
Rankings are, yeah. So anyway, Bravely Second End Layer is a role-playing game developed by Silicon Studio for the Nintendo 3DS and obviously published by Square Enix. The game was released on April 23rd, 2015 in Japan and April 15th, 2016 in North America. I don't know why it took them so fucking long, but it did. Development for the game began as early as December of 2012, when producer Tomoya Asano requested feedback from fans intended to be used for a sequel to Bravely Default. However, it wouldn't be officially announced until December of 2013. A trial version of the game was released in December 2014 on the Japanese Nintendo eShop, and I guess you could play up to like 10 hours of the game, which is kind of crazy. Considering you beat this thing in like 20-something hours?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I'm already almost done. Thanks for letting me try your game to the end.
It was a nice try. It was a nice tryout.
Yeah. So yeah, that's a little bit on the development. So I say we dive right into the story.
There's not that much on the development, huh?
Not really, no.
I mean, I guess that would be in Legacy where we talk about the reception of this game, which was... I didn't really read up on this game that much. I mostly just beat it and then read up a little bit on it, and I'm like, really?
Yeah.
That was kind of my reaction to the critical praise or lack of praise from the fans and the sales, I guess, being
I mean, the
disappointing.
The sales, I think, that has a lot to do with the naming of it, because if you really like Bravely Default, you wouldn't think Bravely Second.
Or would you?
I mean, maybe I don't know.
You already bought a game with an insane title.
I already knew, so maybe we're not the people to ask. But apparently it didn't work because the next one sold more than this one as well. So,
wow. Okay.
And the Switch is a high-selling console, but not like the DS. It's not like the DS yet.
That's true.
So, the story. Bravely Second is set 2.5 years after the events of the first title. Agnes Oblige is now the Pope of the Crystal Orthodoxy, and the Duchy of Eternia, Brave Lee seeks to end hostilities between the two with a formal peace treaty. The ceremony is interrupted by a guy named Kaiser Oblivion, who is the leader of the Glands Empire. Glands DS, of course, like the glands from the balls. And his crystal fairy companion, Anne. Agnes is abducted and imprisoned in their floating base that's called the Skyhold. And then Geniolgia, who is the leader of Agnes's Crystal Guard, awakens a week after the attack when he got his ass kicked and sets out to rescue Agnes with his Crystal Guard companions, Jean and Nikolai. These two are later revealed to be plants from the Empire. Yu then puts another party together that has less traitorous roots, including Adia Lee from the first game and Tiz Arier from the first game, and some chick from the moon named Magnolia Arch. A real ball buster.
Yeah, she has no French accent too. Did that bug you in the? She would speak French, and then she would have no accent.
Yeah, it was a little weird. Of course, I do love that the people obsessed with balls are the French.
Yeah,
I feel like that's
of course
very fitting.
That's fitting. Yes.
So Agnes is guiding them from a crystal radio. It's like her pendant or whatever that broke into a bunch of pieces. They can use it to communicate with her. And some mysterious figure known as the Man with the Purple Pen. The party seeks the Skyhold across the land. We then find out that Kaiser Oblivion obtained a compass of space and time, which is really stupid sounding, but it is from a game called Bravely Second and Layer. So what's stupid mean?
All that title is, if you don't know about the first one, say you're just going through a gaming store, you're not really a DS person, you're an Xbox player. Maybe you play like Madden or some shit. And you see Bravely Second and Layer. 4 words that have nothing to do with each other. It's like someone went into a grab bag of words and just put 4 words down. There's no sentence that creates. There's no nothing.
Yeah.
Bravely Second and Layer.
Yeah, it's like a Mad Lib.
Yeah.
Of just random words, except for instead of like a structure like Mad Libs had, it's just word. It just says put word here.
I just found 4 random words. Post, goal, saving, invest. Post, goal, saving, invest.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of sounds like it means something, but it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, almost. So he finds a compass of space and time, and we also learn about something called the Sword of the Brave, which is a cursed sword that took Yu's older brother Dennis's right arm after he tried to claim it.
Now, also, whenever talking about this game or in the game, because the main character's name is Yu, there's just a bunch of funny, like, bad English sentences.
Yeah.
Yu's brother is gonna... Yeah, anything with U's, I just kind of giggle with that.
It reminded me a lot of I and U from Final Fantasy Unlimited.
Yes.
That was painful.
Exactly.
In that too. I, you. They should have named the one chick Me. That would have been like amazing. It's me.
Or
I
me.
and you. It's
or
me.
Mia, at least.
Yeah. Just make it like...
Me and my...
Make it impossible to follow. Like, you're talking about you're something of yours, or you're talking about that person over there. So Dennis was disinherited from the family, and he disappeared shortly after. We discover that the Kaiser wants to overcharge the crystals in order to summon the Holy Pillar, so pretty much what happened in the first game. And we discover that the Man with the Purple Pen is actually some kind of celestial being named Altair, who possesses Tiz after the soul stone containing his soul was given to Tiz when he was comatose at the Eternian Central Command in his little test tube where they were keeping his ass alive. Kaiser Oblivion forces Agnes to overload the water crystal to summon the Holy Pillar. Our heroes finally attack the Skyhold, kill Nikolai and Jan, who reveal that they opposed the Crystal Orthodoxy because of its prior corruption. The Kaiser uses the compass to travel back in time, but his stupid fairy, Anne, sabotages the operation and sends them in a distant future and uses the Holy Pillar to destroy the moon. Yeah. The party swats the obnoxious Anne, but the destruction of the moon ceases the flow of time, because apparently it doesn't just control the tides, it controls the times. The party utilizes Magnolia's hourglass to go back in time. We've got a lot of time travel devices and traveling in this game. To the peace ceremony that happened in the very beginning of the game, to stop the Kaiser from abducting Agnes in the first place. And by the way, if you don't bravely second, you just start the game over.
The game over, and you're like, this seems familiar.
Yeah, I'm like, and then I look. This is the first time I looked something up on this game because I'm like, I'm not playing this again.
I think I told you in a text, didn't I? I said, by the way, you got to bravely second.
Yeah, but I thought
on the boss.
I didn't realize that he would kick my ass so fast, and I didn't realize because you don't control the fight, it just happens. I didn't realize I had to bravely second while I'm not even playing. And so I was thinking, oh, maybe after I die I can like bravely second. No, after you die you just wake up and the game starts, and then you start the game again.
Literally starts over again.
But you have the same level built up, so I almost wonder, like, could I just keep going and like would the enemies be similar levels so I could grind more?
I think the boss that you were fighting against, according to a guide that I was reading, will randomly pop up again, and you'll have the opportunity to press bravely second again.
Oh, okay. I just turned it off.
Just as like a random battle. Yeah, that's exactly what I did.
You.
I'm like, there's something wrong here.
It auto-saved me too, and luckily I made it, because it warns you beforehand. It's like, make sure you make a separate file, and I did. And I'm fucking glad I did. Otherwise I would have been like livid. And then I just loaded up that other file and I bravely seconded him.
I mean, yeah, but how quickly would you have made it through? You could have just turned off battles and then...
Yeah, no, for sure.
Just skipped cutscenes and fought bosses.
Which is what we did in the first game.
Yeah.
I thought that was sweet.
As far as repeating stuff, exactly the same as the first game if you didn't press bravely second.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah. We then find out that Kaiser Oblivion is actually Yu's missing brother, Dennis, who escapes, and the party uses their knowledge of the future to stop Dennis's plan while convincing his accomplices not to throw their lives away. So his accomplices are all very loyal to Dennis in this thing, and you kind of like convince him to not die in this timeline. Yu then visits his family crypts, and it's revealed that Dennis wishes to use the compass to travel back in time to kill the founder of their family, to right the future misdeeds of his house. We defeat him and convince him to create a world of peace, which Anne ends up destroying the moon again in this timeline, and summons a ball that ravaged Magnolia's home, not hole. Dennis sacrifices himself and uses the compass to take the ball and himself to the end of time. So it should be like... It should be... They should have called this game Genealogia and the Balls of Time. Like, end layer. Yeah. We then learn that Anne is attempting to use the Great Chasm at Norend, the thing that killed everybody in the beginning of the first game, to summon balls directly into the Luxendark. Nothing like a Luxendarkian ball. She then reveals herself to be the sister of Eri, the chick from the first game, the fairy from the first game, and explains that a new god named Providence created the balls using the memories of Altair's past lover, Vega. So Vega had her, back in her heyday, she had a lot of balls. She handled a lot of balls, apparently. So after we crush this fairy again, we enter the Celestial Realm and free Vega from Providence, because they're like joined. Altair, the man with the purple pen, who takes over your fucking... the first game's protagonist, and Vega depart, and Providence attacks in true Metal Gear Solid fashion, breaks the fourth wall, and attempts to delete the player's save file. The party also breaking the fourth wall, talking to you directly, acknowledging the player, says everyone's got to work together, you included, and they all turn around and look at you. And
and your reflection through the DS camera.
Yeah.
Woo.
That was kind of cool. It's weird, but
Yeah, what if I was naked? You know?
yeah, and you're just like, oh, even you disgusting slob.
Square Enix does Square Enix have this on a hard drive save now?
Yeah,
Is that what's happening?
they got another pair of balls that they weren't planning on. So they break the fourth wall, and then we defeat Providence. Now, the problem with defeating Providence is like you got to turn the speed down, because I had no idea what the fuck he was doing to me, because he'll give you some random command like blah blah blah, strike down blah blah blah, but if you're going like times 4 speed, it's just like
Which is the only speed to play this game.
yeah, no, these games, if you play at normal speed, there's something wrong with you. It's so slow after you get used to it. It's like god damn, this game is fucking slow. But you got to turn down the speed to actually understand what the fuck he's saying. Otherwise, he'll just nuke you. He'll just straight nuke your characters. So it took me a little while to beat him, because I was like, what the fuck is this guy doing to me, man? I'm like, god damn it. I get to a certain point and they just fucking 4 9s, and then I slowed it down and it's like, oh. But there's also problems with that, because not all my characters are strong enough to kill another character in the party. So like sometimes you just lose to the final fight when it asks like my healer to kill somebody. It's like they can't fucking kill anyone.
I think I had to make everybody a beat stick, like pretty heavy beat stick, in order to beat that guy.
Oh yeah.
They were like all Valkyrie ninjas, like all of them. They were all just like Destructoids. And I think I had to fight the final boss twice, but the second time I'd like handled him. It was nothing. So,
It's probably like 9 or 10. Once I actually read what I was doing, it only took me like 3 times. But I died a bunch. I did something similar to last time. It's not as OP because there's not as many. And I even went back and I got all of the classes except for the last 3. There's like 3 ones that you have to do at the end for like side quests to unlock. I didn't get those 3. But I got all the other ones. You get like choices. And we'll talk about that in gameplay throughout the game on like deciding which class out of the 2 you want. And I got all of those, but none of them really upped my HP. So the problem is like I could do my Phoenix flight thing, but it would only do like 4K.
yeah.
It wasn't like the fucking 6,000 I was used to for the first
Everything
game.
that was like a cheap move from the first game was brought down to size.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Luckily, though, my cheap move that I did in this one is still applicable in the next game. Because I just used the monk pressure point ability, which ignores defense. And I used that like twice. And it hits. It was doing max damage.
My cheap move for this game was actually playing the game.
Yeah.
As opposed to the last game where I tried to get to the like cheap thing really quickly. This game, every time I got a new class, I'd put a character on it, level it up, like 6 or 7 times, and then move on to the next class. And I had a good mix of classes, and usually whatever it gave you previously was kind of key to beating the next guy.
Yeah.
And so it was just, honestly, it was a much better, easier experience in that way than the previous game. Because you had played that way in the previous game, and the game was easier for you.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I guess I took the way wrong approach. I need to be playing around with these classes. Not the same with Bravely Default 2, by the way. The fucking artist class, skip that shit. Like, just fucking skip. It's
The artist?
horrible.
Is
There's
that like
one
the
that
cake?
like paints.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, and
Terrible.
Bravely Default 2?
Yeah.
Oh.
Terrible class. Don't use it. I was like, what the fuck is the point of this thing?
The one that made me angry in this one was the cake guy. And I hated that boss fight. I thought that was such a dick boss. And I was like, I'm not doing that class because I hate him so much.
You didn't want to make a dick cake?
No, I didn't.
Oh.
I don't do bachelorette parties.
You get cakes a lot, like ingredients for cakes. I never used that class
I never
either.
fucking did either. I was like, I'm not doing it. That guy was a douche.
I just have a lot of food on me.
Yeah. There's a lot of snacks in the backpack here. Yeah, so that's how I beat the last guy. Yeah. We defeat Providence. Tiz is dying until he's not. Agnes retires from her duties as the Pope and settles down with Tiz. Adia sets out as the new Grand Marshal, and Magnolia, who was originally leaving to go back to the moon, decides to stay in Luxemdark with you, since they're a hot item. In a post-credit scene, we see Ring-a-Bell from the first game reveal himself as an agent of an interdimensional police force called the Plains Wardens. And he confirms the Sword of the Brave is real, so it was a pointless end.
That just sounds like
That sounds really lame.
That sounds like a Marvel plot.
Yeah, that's not. Yeah, but yeah, this must have been like they're like, oh, we gotta have a post-credit scene.
We're gonna have a post-credit scene with an interdimensional police force.
Yeah.
Speaking of, I just saw Deadpool 3 last night.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, which had that in it almost. It was
man.
like a time police
Was it funny?
force. Yeah, it was funny.
Nice.
It's worth watching.
I watched Long Legs last night.
Yeah, I've heard that's good.
It's good.
I haven't seen anything.
There's some good Nick Cage freak out
Nice.
in there, and it is hilarious hearing him say the words "Hail Satan" and Nick Cage. It's pretty funny.
Nice.
Not a bad horror movie though. I kind of want to see that new Quiet Place, the third one, because both of those movies are great.
Yeah, it's a different filmmaker.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah. So
What the fuck?
I've heard 50-50 on that one. I know one friend who loves it and one friend who hates it. And then Twisters I've heard is great, which surprised me because Twister is not that great of a movie. So
No.
I was like, okay, well, I'll try out Twisters. I like Glenn Powell.
Yeah, dude, the trailer for Nosferatu was awesome. I was like, hell yeah. I really like that guy. I think his movies are pretty fucking good. I really liked The Northman like a lot. I thought it was sweet.
I still haven't seen it. Haven't seen it.
What other ones has he done? I know he's done a bunch of movies I've seen.
The Lighthouse and The Witch.
Oh, yeah. The Lighthouse looked really stupid, so I didn't watch it. But I liked The Witch.
The Witch is amazing. Anyway.
Yeah.
Bravely Second. Story. I'll be honest, Caleb, and I said this in a text. I was like, yeah, I'm having a lot of fun in this game, but I can't follow these cutscenes to save my life. My brain is shutting off. It was bad enough in the first game. There was like too much talking in the first game. It was like too much chit-chatting. The second game is just about the same in terms of the chit-chatty characters. Some fun characters. I like you. I like the French girl.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And the ball
talk.
The ball talk was great.
Yeah.
I love me some ball talk.
Yeah.
But outside of that, I lost the plot after like, he's betrayed by his friends. I kind of lost the plot.
Yeah, there was.
And I was like, I don't know what's going on in this game.
Yeah, there were certain things I thought were cool, like the backstory with his brother, and him like finding his brother, trying to get the sword, and use the sword to kind of like help his family, and then it ends up like cutting his arm off and like destroying his family because it's like it's like almost like a genie thing where like the wishes are like.
Yeah, that part was cool. That part's like the midpoint of the game where it like gets really fucked up for a second.
Yeah. I thought that was interesting. But yeah, I was the same way though. Like both of these games, the stories, it's like, I don't know. I don't know what it is about the way they tell it, but I'm just not interested. And I can't force myself to follow it. I just can't.
The problem is that it's a handheld title too. So I'm like,
so you pop it open, pop it close.
Yeah, pop it open, pop it close.
Later.
So I'm like not even like in it,
Yeah. Like I mean, we were there the whole time because when you pop it close, it pauses. But like it just the way it functions, it just severs the story in your brain. It's weird. But I had the same reaction. I was like, I have no idea really what's going on here, but it's fun. So
yeah, in case anybody didn't listen to our last review on Bravely Default, it's like the comparison for me that I have in my head is like it's that anime game that just disappeared out of my mind as soon as I started this sentence. What the hell is that game?
Are you thinking of Tales of
Zestiria?
Yeah.
Yes. So Tales of Zestiria is the only Tales game that I've played, and it's very similar. It's like anime, lots of characters, and then it has multiple talking screens. Sometimes it's an in-game cutscene. Sometimes it's like the characters standing around and talking. Sometimes it's like a wide shot with, in this game, there's like wide shots with, text boxes or whatever. So it like kind of mixes up the cinematics, but it's so much chit chat in the game that it's just a little too much. Like it's just a little talky. Like it never lets up. So you don't know what's important and what's not. And then I lose the plot completely. So and part of it is me just not paying attention. Sure. But it's also it also doesn't pull me in. So the first game was like this. The second game, I would say in comparison, the plot is not as interesting as the first game because it doesn't have that. It has a big midpoint thing, like you were saying with the wishing thing and the sword. And it's interesting, and the characters are good, just like they were in the first game, because that's all that the game is really paying attention to is like how characters are interacting with each other. So that's what the game is story-wise, what it's good at. But plot-wise, it didn't pull me in. It's not as interesting. And it was kind of immediate. Like I was 3 hours into the game and I was like checked out.
Yeah. And it has a lot of the same like story beats too that the first game had. Yeah. Like a lot of the same events happen.
Mm-hmm. It's just not quite as good.
No, it's not. And I didn't like the first one.
Not that the first one was that great either. Yeah, exactly.
Story-wise, no. But I agree with you. Like it has a lot of the same stuff. Not as well told. So even less interesting than the first game.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't terrible, though.
No, they're not bad.
My experience of it was not bad. It was just kind of in one ear, out the other.
Yeah, which for this podcast usually is like a cardinal sin. But
this is a handheld game I can pick up and put down at any time, and I'm not stuck on the couch watching people head nod all day. So
that's right, yeah.
In terms of comparison to like Final Fantasy 14, in terms of chattiness, this is slightly better chattiness.
Yeah. It's not that bad.
Yeah,
like, it's not like
the characters are better.
Yeah.
The writing is better. And there's less head nods that go on forever. The cutscenes do actually end.
You don't have to watch like 8 different people nod their heads.
And exit rooms and enter rooms.
Yeah. They just skip that. They just assume that that's what they did. Because that's how
I was
things
there.
work.
I walked into the place.
Yeah.
You was there.
You was there.
You know you was there. Anything else to say on story? It was like...
No.
Yeah.
No, a lot of the same beats. A lot of the similar like sacrifices, and then everyone's okay again. Although they are dead in certain timelines, I guess. So
yeah, that's true. Never coming back.
Yeah. But I guess in the timeline we're in, they're cool. Good to go. Yeah, let's talk about... gameplay. So, this game, turn-based RPG, very similar to the first game. You have the Brave function, have the default function for saving up your battle points or Brave points, whatever the fuck they are, to then unleash hell. So very similar in that way. Again, I think they should call these games quality of life, the RPG, because this one adds even more quality of life stuff in it.
Yeah.
The first one, you had the option of like increasing the battles, decreasing the battle, like percentage, like how often you hit battles. This one, same thing, but one of the really cool things in this one is you can chain battles together. So long as you kill everybody in one turn, you can choose to have another fight like right after that fight, and it'll multiply the experience and the JP that you get.
It does not reset your BP though.
No, it doesn't. So you got to be careful about what you're doing and when. But dude, I was like, it was like 4th of July weekend. I was down in St. George just kind of grinding this out while we were relaxing because it was like 100 million degrees outside. Mm-hmm. And I was fighting these like fish dudes near the beginning of the game, and I had like fucking mega chains going on these guys.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I was getting like, it was oh man, it was like 190 battle points or job points that I would get from this shit. Like, yeah,
Whoa.
I could chain it that much. And so I was like, man, I'm just going to sit here for like half an hour and just fucking crank these guys out.
Jesus.
So that was awesome. I think that's a really cool addition to the game. So they made it even better, even easier to grind. They added different jobs. I don't think the jobs were as good in this one. They're not as like OG
Sure.
as the first games.
I think they have all the previous jobs, and then they added more, and then they weakened
the
jobs that they have.
Yeah.
So the Valkyrie wasn't quite as strong. The Ninja wasn't quite as strong, but they were still pretty strong classes.
Yeah, I used Ninja
The White Mage didn't really have... I can't remember if it was this game or Bravely Second or both that had... The White Mage has no attack magic. It might be Bravely Default 2.
I think... Yeah, this one they do.
Okay.
Both the White Mage and the Priest, or whatever the hell it was, have an attack. But yeah, that's what I was in the beginning. I was like, oh, this is kind of weird. Instead of Black Mage, it's like something else. I can't really remember what it was called. But then you do get Black Mage later, and I was like, oh, these kind of complement each other. Same thing with White Mage and like Priest.
They have them. They put it together to kind of, I guess, get. There's like holes in terms of like what we're used to in Final Fantasy games. Like they don't have all the magic; they kind of have half of it. So you have to put two classes together to get like a true Black Mage.
Yeah.
They have that definitely in Bravely Default 2, where like, yeah, you get like fire, ice, and lightning attacks, but the wind and stone attacks you have to get from another class.
Yeah.
It's an interesting way of doing it. It makes it so that you're dealing with more combos and stuff like that. I like that they brought the levels down from like 14 jobs, 14 levels in your job class to, what was it, 11, I think?
Yeah, something like that.
Oh, man, that made it way better.
Yeah.
So you could try out more jobs and max out more jobs. And yeah, the jobs aren't as OP, I guess, or spammable as they were in the previous game.
Yeah, but again, though, having those different combos leveled up kind of made it to where you could make up for that.
Yeah.
And I think the balancing was better in this one.
The balancing was better.
It's a different kind of grind, too, because I feel like in the first one, and you didn't have this so much as me, but I feel like the only way I could level up my jobs effectively was to keep repeating boss weekend repeat. Like mandatory Metallica hour.
Yeah.
Like fucking just over and over and over again. But in this one, I was getting enough XP just killing the regular stuff. And same with job points. So I was able to actually experience all of the different jobs that they were throwing at me instead of just like, here's my jobs and that's all I have time for, like the first game. Even though I spent fucking 50 hours in the first game, I still didn't do all I wanted to do. And in this one, other than the side quest to get the last jobs, I felt like I had gotten where I wanted to be, you know? Because of the way the chains work and because of the way they reduce the fucking insane amount of grinding you have to do to actually get your jobs to the point where they're useful.
Yep. So it seemed like actual levels were a little bit more impactful in this game than job levels, which is nice because in the other game, it seemed like your whatever level your character was like mattered, like didn't matter at all.
Yeah.
And in this game, it seemed like there was a balance. There was a good balance between like where you are in your job versus where your character's base stats are, and there was a good balance there. Another thing I thought was a great improvement was being able to use a tent, or it wasn't using a tent. It was like being able to rest at the...
Oh, the little traveler guy?
Yeah, the little traveler guy.
Yeah, it's actually a chick, but yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was a dude for like
well, you can use guy
games.
Interchangeably, but...
True. Yeah.
Little traveler dude man.
Dude man with some tits.
Dude man with tits. So with dude man with tits, you could stop and rest, and that was so nice.
Yeah.
I got screwed over so many times in the first game where I had to go back to town or go outside, and in this one, I was able to just stick in a spot and grind, and that was so nice.
Yeah,
it was such a nice improvement on the game.
Yeah, and like there was options because in the end, I was trying to beat this like three weeks ago when we were initially going to record, and I just turned off battles.
Yeah,
and just fucking plowed the game. But then when I got to near the end, there was one of the dude mans near the final fight. And so I would turn the battles back on and just kind of run around this guy. and then when I needed to, I would use them to heal up.
Yeah. So it's not like it took the grind away, but I thought that the game was better balanced gameplay-wise.
Yeah, it just kind of altered the grind and made it more user-friendly, for sure. And then, let's see, what else did I like? One of the things I didn't like as much, I felt like rebuilding the moon was kind of a lame version of rebuilding Norend.
Yeah.
And I didn't finish it. Did you finish it?
Not at all. I wasn't even close because I beat this game very quickly.
Yeah.
So as opposed to Bravely Default, a whole bunch of stuff in my life was happening. So like I beat that game very slowly.
Yeah.
So being able to pick up the game and like move the guys around and then see that I won some stuff, that was a nice little thing that I could do every day and get my daily like fix in. This game I beat faster. And I only ever got like one extra guy from the one time that we did the street pass.
Yeah.
And so I barely got anything out of the moon. I'm sure you can get good stuff in there, but it seemed way bigger than the original village. But it could have been that I just had less guys.
It was kind of, in the end, I think it was about the same size.
Okay.
But I also only had like 3 or 4. No, I had 4. And it was because I ran into a dude in Vegas when I was down there with my wife. Nicholas from Vegas, thank you. Thank you for your street pass. When I was walking around the strip, I street passed somebody. I was so pumped.
Someone on the strip had a DS in their back pocket.
Yes.
My God.
They had to have had this game in it because I tried.
No, is really?
I think so because I tried manipulating it with a DS.
I thought it was just any street pass.
No, it's got to be this game. So the odds of that motherfucker has to be one of our listeners.
So we should have been like, oh, this weekend neither of us are going to play in this game. Here's the DS and turn them both on.
Yes, yeah.
In sleep mode, and then every 8 hours they're going to street pass each other.
Yeah, we should have done that. But I didn't finish the moon either. I got a lot closer than you, and it has a lot of good stuff.
Okay. It's like in the last game, honestly, that was like the good stuff.
Yeah,
was all from the moon, and then it would be $1 million from the Wanderer or whatever.
Yep. But yeah, I did that less this time. I didn't have as much time because the first game I started playing before I finished.
We thought we were in a hurry to beat it.
Xenogears, and so I was like passively playing it for like months, man.
Yeah.
And this one I played for like a month, maybe, and didn't have as much time. But yeah, we thought we were going to plow.
I mostly beat this game, I think, in like 2 weeks or something like that, and just didn't have the opportunity to street pass anyone.
Yeah, it sucks.
I thought about messaging like the younger guys at work and be like, even if you guys have a DS.
They might be too young, though.
Yeah, probably.
But
now that this is an old system.
Yeah, it's weird, huh?
Yeah.
Another cool thing that they added, so if you thought having the game play itself while it was closed was interesting, there's a way for the game to play itself while it's open and you have to watch, and that is called Chompcraft.
God, dude, I did that like twice, and then I was like, I'm gonna get like a couple bucks off of this. Is that it? Like,
so what you do, your characters are all like crafting these little Chomp figurines that go into an egg carton. And the Chomp thing, don't worry about it. It just looks like a bomb from like Mario, but it's like a round like baby chicken looking motherfucker.
So it's like the bomb fucked Yoshi.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
The bomb fucked a chick Yoshi, and that's what we got. So your guys are like putting this shit together, and it's this mini game where the game is on and it's playing itself. It's weird. It's like for a while I was like, man, how like nuanced and like wall breaking is the third game going to be? Like, are they going to be like, okay, well now you have to play it when you're sleeping, like they invade your dreams somehow, and like you are sleeping but you're also playing?
That's what Neuralink is for. It's for Bravely Default 3.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, but sadly they failed me in the new one. But this one, yeah, I was like, hey, and they talk about like you can convert it to money, but you don't know where. And I looked it up, and there's a village called Chompville, and you can like turn in your Chomp points that you generate for Gil. And they have some sick fucking gear in this
God
village.
damn it.
Some really sick
God
shit.
damn it.
Dude.
I didn't touch that stuff.
Yeah. I knew it was going to be useful. So like when I was working out, when I in between sets, I would like spam it and like get the maximum amount of shit and then sell it all off. Cause like as you play this game, you can purchase with your points, you can purchase like multipliers. So there's like 5 different categories. It's like quantity, speed, rarity, there's like a couple other things, and like you buy like more supplies to increase each of those, but you also have to like pay to upgrade each time you use it. So like you'll have level 1 on everything in the beginning, but then once you gain enough CP from selling your shit, you can like upgrade the levels, and then you have to pay to use that higher level. And so you go in with like 100,000 points, which is what I usually saved. And then you could just spam and get like millions and millions of points. And then there's a JP growth egg that you can buy. It's like a ton, though. It's like a fuck ton.
Yeah.
And there's a growth egg for your XP as well. And it's like double. It's double on both. And then the gear is like crazy good, dude. Like it's fucking nuts. The quality of gear that you can get from this place. So it was pretty useful. And I honestly thought it was kind of cool. Like once I got the hang of it and once I realized like, okay, you got to kind of have money to make money. So you got to start out with like a good chunk of points to like get all your upgrades ready. And then like what I would do is I would, when you're selling the little figurines, you get bonus points for like rarity and like a full carton. And what you could do is your guys will enter like spam mode. I can't remember what they call it, but like they'll like double. Everything will be doubled. And once I had it all my shit upgraded, I could do the double move, and you time it like right as they were about to finish a set, and they would throw down, and it'd be a full carton, and I'd be able to do it like 5 times before the spam mode like ran out, and then you had to regenerate the spam mode again. But I could do it and get like 5 million CP each time, and then I would just have to like upgrade the quantity or whatever, and then I would get the spam mode again in like 5 minutes. And so it was perfect for like lifting weights. I'd like knock out a set, and then I'd like do the spam mode and like micromanage, because you got to sell it like super fast, because the timer for the spam mode is slightly slower than the timer for the fucking like, here, we're done with our round of stuff. So you could like squeeze one extra one in if you were like on that shit. So like it was a lot of fun.
I would have never guessed that was a fun thing. I opened that thing and I was like, this is stupid.
Yeah.
I'm just like sitting here watching these guys make fucking toys for Santa Claus. Like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, pretty much. You're like little elves making shitty like
the
40s
worst
Santa
toy.
Yeah. But I mean, I won't say it was fun necessarily. Like it was something, but like it was useful. And I liked
way
it
to back down off of that.
And I liked it in the end. I played it for like hours, and by the time I was done, it was probably like 3 hours, 4 or 5 hours maybe. But some of it was me leaving it, because before I bought all the upgrades, I would like go like build some shit in my backyard and like come back in, and like the carton would be full, so I'd sell it. And then like eventually, once I started getting to where I had a bunch of good stuff, I could kind of like sit there and be more on top of it. But yeah, I thought that was a cool addition to the game. I thought it was super stupid at first, but then I was like, hey, there's got to be something to this thing. And so I decided to fully upgrade it all. And then I basically left it alone until I was getting close to the end of the game. And I'm like, isn't there supposed to be a place I can fucking exchange all these millions and millions of points that I have from this game? And that's when I found the village, and there's some good shit.
Nice.
So
I really enjoyed this game as a game. I turned off my brain during the cutscenes, but I enjoyed the grind. I enjoyed messing around with the classes. I enjoyed the battles. I thought it was such a great... Like, the first game was a really good battle system, and this one, it's basically the same thing, just improved.
Yeah.
And in that respect, it was like... whole game felt balanced to me. I didn't get stupid stuck anywhere. Like... yeah, I had to repeat a couple bosses, but it wasn't like the end of the world. It wasn't some unbalanced bullshit that I had to like grind the fuck out of, like some other games in this series.
Yeah.
So I had a great time playing this one, and it was nice. It was nice to just sit down, play it for a few minutes, turn it off, make dinner or whatever.
Yeah.
Come back in, turn it off for a few minutes, and I cranked it out fast. So, and it was a slightly shorter game. It was like 30 hours or just under that for me. And the first game was, another 10 hours on top of that. So, and that seems about right for how long to beat. This one's slightly shorter. But I had a good time. I had a good time. I didn't do like a ton of extra stuff. I did the first round of, pick one or the other job.
Yeah.
But I didn't do the second round on those things.
That was kind of a cool thing in this game. They had like a moral decision. There would be 2 asterisk holders. So the asterisk guys, if you don't remember, they're the guys that hold the like job class. Mm-hmm. Once you kick the shit out of them, you can like steal it from them. And there'd be like 2 asterisk holders that would have different opposing like moral opinions on a conundrum that you find yourself in. And you would decide on one of them and you would fight the opposite one and you would take their asterisk. And for the most part, the ones that I sided with, I agreed with like morally anyway. But it was really cool when I went back through and I got the rest of them. Like I kind of saw both sides. I saw the issue from both sides. Like there was like a good argument. So I thought it was like, man, this is one of the rare times where like morality in a game actually makes sense. Because you'll have shit like, like what they did in Fable, where it's like
just like steal from the kid and beat his ass.
Yeah.
Or give him flowers.
Yeah. So like I thought this was kind of an interesting way to handle it, where like it seemed like the choice I made initially was obviously the right choice, but then when I made the opposite choice, I was like, oh no, there's some good points there.
Interesting. Yeah, I did not watch a single one of those cutscenes. Not one.
Oh, really?
Not one, dude. I skipped the shit out of those things. I'm like, fuck this. I just want the class.
You bastard.
And then when it was like, it would have me choose, and it would be like, you sure? This means you won't be able to get this one. And then that would be my, I fucked up. Let me choose the other one.
Yeah. That's funny.
There was a certain class I wanted. I wanted the beat stick classes. Like, that's all I wanted. So,
yeah. So this game I spent 53 hours and 56 minutes in.
Oh my god!
But my playtime for the first game was 72 hours.
Oh my god!
Dude, I told you it was.
So you like the game more than I did, clearly.
Yeah, no, I really like these games. I'm glad we decided to play these games. They were a lot of fun.
Yeah, a lot of fun.
The next one's kicking my ass in. And the next one has the audacity to have enemies like run away from you as if they can't just wipe your ass off the face of the earth. Like the second you get into a fight with them, they're like, oh no, he's coming. And then you start fighting them and they just fucking bitch slap you to death.
Yeah, wait for the
review
on Bravely Default 2 coming out soon.
Yeah, the balls strike back is what they should have called that one.
So, what do you think about the gameplay or not the gameplay, but the music and the look of the game?
So the music, they didn't end up bringing back the first game's composer, Revo. Was unable to return, so they... Wait, no, what was the first one? No, Revo's the new guy.
I think it was the first one, yeah. I think for this one, I think they used a lot of his tracks, but then they got a new composer to fill in the holes, from what I remember reading. But we can double check that and make sure we're not totally wrong on our official recording of this.
Oh, it's Revo and Ryo. That's what it was. Revo was the first one. They brought Ryo from a band called Supercell. Never fucking heard of it. They're probably a bunch of ball busters, though.
Yeah.
Would be what I assume. But yeah, so
another one name.
Yeah, these guys and their single names. That's why I was like, I don't remember which one's which.
I can understand that.
Soundtrack, I thought it was the same person, honestly. It had the same feel, so they did a good job of recreating the first games. And honestly, there are some tracks that are reused.
Yeah, they reused a lot of the tracks, and but I didn't really like. hear the soundtrack of this one and go like, oh, so different.
No.
Honestly, it was...
It had a similar feel to it, and it was good. And there's nothing like super amazing about it, I would say. There's some good tracks in there, but like...
No, but I would, when I turn off the game, I'd be humming whatever the soundtrack was.
Yeah, so it's obviously not bad.
Yeah, it's catchy enough.
Yeah, but nothing like mind-blowing.
Correct,
I
yeah.
would say. Similar to the first game for me.
And speaking of similar to the first game, like the game looks... Even like a lot of the areas are repeated. The game looks basically the same as the first one. There's a little bit more three-dimensionality in some of the areas, some of the towns. They're expanded upon, but it looks pretty much the same as the first one.
Yeah, there are different towns that we get to go to as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, look and sound very similar to the first game, which isn't bad. It has like a charm to it that the next game does not have. As far as like the chibi
How
and
dare
like,
you.
And like something that actually fits in my pocket.
Yeah.
Unlike like it has to fit in my back pocket.
I mean,
the Switch is massive.
I mean, I have big, massive pants, so because I'm, a big, massive guy. But so the Switch can technically fit in my pockets.
I mean, the problem I have though is my Joy-Cons are fucked up.
Oh yeah,
so I have to have that Pro controller.
You'll destroy the controller for sure. Like,
yeah,
that's a given. I took the Switch to New York with me on our trip, that I just got back from, and yeah, those things, those little controller things are like, I was like, oh no, tell me I didn't destroy these things. Yeah. They're so brittle.
Yeah.
Like coming out of the suitcase after it's been smashed, like
smashed 30,000 feet in the air.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to. I haven't checked a bag in years, so I've only done carry on. So it's like it better motherfucking fit in there, or I am not taking it.
Yeah, agreed. We're very minimalist with our trips.
I am.
I remember that the last time I came over here, like 2 times ago. I came over with Drew, and like he was like freaking out. He's like, He's like, oh, you can go ahead and put your stuff in my car. And I was like, what stuff? And he was like, he blew his mind. Like he kept talking about it all night long. And I'm like, dude, we're going there for one night. What the fuck do I need to bring?
It's like,
I don't know, change of clothes. I'm like, for what? I'm not even going to be gone 12 hours. Like, what? I'm not going to shower there. Are you crazy?
I would have brought a change of clothes. I would have brought a change of clothes in my hygiene bag.
Yeah, I brought a toothbrush and my fucking toothpaste. And it's like, what stuff? It's in my pocket.
I have a hygiene bag. Like, it has a separate deodorant stick, separate toothbrush, separate thing. And so if I'm going anywhere, because I have to go up north all the time.
Yeah.
So if I'm going anywhere or on a trip or anything, it's just like, grab the bag.
Yeah, but it was like crazy, and I'm like, dude, what the fuck? And I'm like, he's got like 5 bags he's bringing, and I'm like, dude.
Now, my dear Godzilla podcast co-host is a little bit more neurotic than you.
Yeah, you think?
Just a little bit. Just a little bit more neurotic. Has to bring everything. Has to make sure everything is right. And I am, I guess, closer to him on that side of things, but at the same time, it's like, I've traveled enough and I've done enough stuff that I know exactly what I need and nothing more.
Yeah.
And so I already have a system set up for going somewhere. It's like, I need this, this, and this, and nothing else.
Yeah, I mean, the last time when we went to Metallica, which is upcoming for us in Seattle, we went to Phoenix. I brought like almost nothing. It was just clothes. Pretty much. And like some of the guys brought like gaming stuff, and I was like, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, I know.
I'm going to sleep.
I know this better. Like, there used to be a time where I used to bring like, oh, what if I want to read this book or this? And I would like have like 3 books with me and a gaming console. Yeah. It's like, that was me as like a teenager when we were going on a trip or something. But now I'm like, no, the one book I might read, I'll bring that.
Yeah, but like for me, it's like I'm going to be so tired, I'm just going to fall asleep.
That is usually what happens. But on the plane is usually what I'm actually going to be using that.
Yeah, that's fair.
So, anyway, that's what we think about this game so far. What does the audience think about the game?
Let's find out.
right, so last time we totally screwed up, and we didn't actually tell people to make sure that they sent in their reviews for Bravely Default.
We defaulted on our responsibility to our brave listeners.
So some of these might be for Bravely Default. So Bravely Default says Fabesy. I played Bravely Default years ago. It's the same version of Cordial that's been so diluted so much that the fruit flavor is gone and it's just water. Good 20-hour game that's 60 hours long for some reason.
Yeah.
Wow. Shinryu says, damn it. Got to give us more warning in terms of me going like, hey, you guys have 10 minutes to give me Bravely Default reviews. Review. I love this game. It's one of my favorite 3DS JRPGs. I 100%ed it, maxed out every job class and every level in the 99. It was just coming up with insane builds and combos. I know a lot of people have a problem with later chapters becoming Groundhog's Day, but I kind of liked it, and there were differences. The twist reveal caught me by surprise, and I loved it. Even the title screen changed. As a fan of classic Final Fantasy, I thought that it reminded me of FF3 through FF5, and I loved it for that. Crazy dungeons, bosses, and beautiful hand-drawn art for towns. The music was amazing, too. Wicked Wings / Flight is forever my favorite. Adia is hilarious, and I love the voice acting for most of the characters. I love how dark some of the story and side quests got. It's sad that this is the pinnacle of the Bravely series. Each one just got worse, like the Mana series after SNES, in my opinion.
That's kind of harsh to compare the series to Mana, dude. Like, that's like, this series is absolute shit.
Mana, as Schweiss has said multiple times, like each one is half as good.
Yeah.
I don't know if I agree with that.
And you can't really divide 0 by 2. So in the end, it gets like syntax error-y.
I can't imagine what this Visions is going to be like, dude. It's almost out, too.
I know. Speaking of Visions, though, if you want a way to increase your, not vision necessarily, but your ability to bring your visions to life, we were reached out to by a wonderful company called Magic Mind that sells a drink called, hold on to your chair, Magic Mind. They gave us a nice little sampler box again. This is the second time they sponsored us, and we took the stuff for a month? We had 30 each. Yeah, and it's just like last time. It helped with the concentration, kind of helped sit down and actually get something done one thing at a time.
Bit of an energy boost too.
Yeah, energy boost has like some low end caffeine.
It's built to make you get into a flow state.
That's right.
It's got lion's mane in it, and tastes delicious. And
yeah, it tastes better than it used to for sure.
I had it with my like morning routine. I took it with my vitamins.
Oh yeah, there you go.
And then I'd take my Magic Mind, and honestly felt like I felt an effect. And my wife also took it for a few days, and also seemed to have an effect on her too. So
nice. Yeah, that's the thing about it. You got to like build it up in your system too. Mm-hmm. It's like part of it. So
yeah. So what is the offer?
So if you guys are so inclined to give this wonderful stuff a chance, you may do so by going to magicmind.com and using promo code Final Fantasy 20 to get 20% off.
Yep.
Your order.
Or the link is in the description of this episode if you want to use it. So yeah, thank you, Magic Mind, for sponsoring the podcast.
Yep, Final Fantasy 20 once again at magicmind.com during your checkout to receive our wonderful code for the wonderful product.
Shinryu asks, what was the hardest boss for you?
Of the first game?
Yeah, I think of the first game.
Probably that, I don't know, the duplicate guy was kind of a pain in the ass.
Duplicate guy was a giant pain in the ass. I really hated him, especially the second round.
Yeah, he was way harder.
Yeah, the ghost guy.
And he was harder in like times 6 too, so.
And then I had to look up like how to kill him, and then it was like the one The one that had the least amount of BP when you looked on their info screen was the one who had to use like the big attack. So that was the guy that you had to do damage to.
Yeah.
Which, thank God for guides on the internet. Thank God for them. What dungeon did you enjoy the most?
In the first one, I don't know. The final dungeon was kind of cool. I kind of think the final dungeon in both of them is kind of the coolest one.
The final dungeon in Bravely Second is way cool, especially in its look. That last fight area is really cool with like the reflection of your face with like that area.
Yeah.
That one's visually, it's really cool. The enemies are a pain in the dick, but that's pretty normal for a final dungeon.
Yeah. I would say both of the final ones for me.
Matunica says, I have it, never had time to play it.
You should play it.
For the original Bravely Default. Okay, Bravely Second reviews are actually on here.
Wait, hang on.
Do you have a Bravely Default from last week?
I think I might actually in the email.
Okay.
Let me double check it here. Yeah, Bravely Default from our good friend RM. I'll just give his initials. Simply put, Bravely Default is one of my favorite games of all time. First, I'll address the elephant in the room, the loop multiverse thing that turned a lot of people off to this game. I couldn't believe the devs had the balls to do this. Taking the job system from FF5 and 4 Heroes of Light and improving it in every way. Best job system in any game I've ever played. It's incredibly fun to mix and match jobs, abilities, and gear. Each felt like a puzzle to be solved ahead of time in party setup. The soundtrack is simply amazing. Revo, the guy who did the theme, absolutely crushed it. While the soundtrack overall is great, where it really shines are the boss themes. The asterisk battle theme at the end of... and the final boss themes are some of the best JRPG battle themes of all time. The way he mixes the character limit break themes, the asterisk theme, and the victory themes into the final fight is masterful. I could listen to these tracks on repeat for hours. The soundtrack kicks so much ass it makes the turn-based combat feel like edge-of-your-seat action. The fact that you can just turn off encounters or jack them up for grinding is the kind of modern improvement that I loved. His questions. Did you read the journal throughout the game as it evolved, and were you able to guess what was going on?
No.
And 2...
Who reads those things?
Yeah. And number 2...
That's like reading item descriptions to get a story out of a game.
Yeah. It just ain't gonna happen. And then number 2, he said, ran out of time. So... you got to go back in time, man. Got to repeat weekend.
All right, so that was Bravely Default.
Yep.
Let's get to Bravely Second reviews. Alex Ross 92 review / question. Hello, Kaleb and Joe. My name is Alex. I'm a relatively new listener to the show. Perfect time to join, Alex.
Yeah.
I found UFF about a year ago. Well, it's a bummer that I found out the show was found it while the show was on its way out. I'm enjoying going through your catalog of episodes a second time. Ooh, God.
Damn.
My personal favorite episodes are the very in-depth reviews on FF11. So the big question is, what happens to the show when you guys are done? Will you return for big releases like FF17 and so on? Or are you hanging up your gun blades for good? Either way, you guys deserve all the praise and a huge thank you for all the entertainment. Thank you, Alex. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I am not going to make any false promises, so I don't want to say anything like I'm definitely going to be back. I will definitely say never, but I think when we have done our big finale episode for this show, that it is done for the time being.
Yeah, it's like indefinite hiatus, which is really a really stupid term because all it means is done for now, maybe forever, but who knows?
Yeah.
Because like hiatus means break, indefinite means forever. But whenever a band says they're going on indefinite hiatus, it just means we have no plans to come back. But we're not saying we won't.
Yeah.
Once we get poor.
But we don't want to kill each other. So
yeah.
There's a possibility of us working again.
Yeah, pretty much.
I have a YouTube video if you guys want to check it out. Just talking about why I'm ending the podcast.
Yeah, throw it in the episode description.
Sure.
It'll be there.
Sure.
If he remembers.
I'll try to remember to do that.
I'll send you a YouTube video reminding you to do it. so that you don't forget, which will also be in the description of the episode.
I did put it in the Discord, in the general chat or the plug your shit chat. I'm not sure. So if you want to join our Discord, you can find a link to my YouTube video there, or just look up my name and find my YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And I kind of go into a little bit more depth on why I'm not starting any new podcasts at the moment, and why I'm so hell-bent on ending these ones. Because Godzilla podcast has 4 movies left, and this one has 1 game and 2 books and a card game left after this episode. Oh, and 2 episodes of a radio drama.
Yeah.
And then Nude Clan will have 1 movie and 1 game, and then a finale episode left. So really near the end of a lot of these.
Yeah.
A lot of these shows for me. So I think that the most likely thing I'll come back to is Final Fantasy VII Remake 3, whenever that comes out in however many years that is. That's a game I am 95% going to play when it comes out. So unless my life is crazy to the point where I can't pick up a game, I will most likely play that one when it comes out. Yeah. And I will probably pop back into the podcast to talk about it.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at too. Like I plan to, but I mean, who knows? Who knows where we'll be when this happens?
As for Bravely Second, do you think it's worth upgrading from a DS to a 3DS to play? The cover certainly makes the game look interesting. I think Bravely Default and Bravely Second, if you like Final Fantasy 3 and 5, especially 5, just on the gameplay level, it's a great game. So I would play it.
Yeah, I mean,
and there's tons of stuff on the 3DS to play.
Yeah, for sure. The 3DS is like a great system. I'm really glad we played these, especially at the end. After we were done being cynical about Mana and all these other bastard series that this podcast has made us play. It's nice to finish on a relatively high note. Now we haven't finished Bravely Default 2.
Second to last finish?
Yeah, second to last finish and layer. But yeah, it's been good. I've really liked the series. Like I really enjoy it. I'm glad that we're playing these. I'm glad we decided that they counted as sequels to a spinoff that are a different series altogether.
Shinru asks, my question, will you guys still secretly release a Chrono Trigger review at the end of the show? It's a 12 to 15 hour game, by the way.
That's 12 hours. I don't know if I have.
I don't know, man. I also think that I don't know how long to beat. It says 23 hours.
Yeah, and I mean, just think of how hilarious it is after all the years of like everyone joking like, oh, where's the Chrono episode? Like we just never release a Chrono episode. After we said we were, acknowledged the joke, played with the joke, and then just abandoned the idea entirely.
Yeah. I mean, what podcast could possibly be ending at a more beautifully disappointing note?
Exactly, yeah.
So no comment. Brulo, there's no need to justify getting a 3DS is what they're responding to Alex Ross. Come on, Brulo, you know you're not supposed to respond in this chat. Second best console in terms of library behind the Switch of any console ever, even with the eStore closed down. Behind the Switch, you mean behind the PC in front of the Switch? Come on, Brulo. I guess console. We don't count PC as console,
Deck.
Huh? Yeah, Steam Deck.
Fuck you, the Steam Deck is the GOAT.
Frost says, Bravely Second review. A worse version of Default. Story is weird. Ryu's soundtrack isn't as good as Revo's. The ballbuster thing is supposed to be funny? ? Yes, Frost. Go fuck yourself, Frost. You know what? We saw Deadpool last night, my wife and I. Full audience. And I hate this movie theater so much. It's the Cedar City Megaplex. It's terrible. Little tiny screen. Like, I swear to God, it's like you have this big room and you could have increased the screen by like 30%. And they just don't. It's like they had like a screen delivered to them and they just shoved it to the top of the ceiling and they said, we're good with that. And it's shit. It's terrible. And the audiences have always been bad. This was a stone cold audience for Deadpool 3 at this theater. in Cedar City. And
Was
I'm
it
like,
full?
Yeah, it was like a pretty full screening of this movie, and I think maybe the sound was like a dB too quiet. Like, but the audience sucked, dude. The audience sucked. No laughs. There was like a couple laughs in a couple spots I heard, but I was like, this whole thing is full, and it's just me and my wife laughing during this movie. Like, we're the only people like going, ha ha ha. Like, look, it's a dumb Marvel movie. They put a bunch of dumb stuff in there, but it's self-aware dumb stuff because that's how Deadpool is.
Yeah.
And I would not say it's better than the first two films, but I thought it was worth watching. Like, I thought it was really funny. So if you're just going to watch a dumb, funny movie, go see Deadpool. And all these people just stone cold, just like nothing. I'm like, am I crazy here?
Yeah.
I don't think I'm crazy. So
I don't know, man.
And then I turned to my wife. I'm like, the audience sucked. And she's like, yeah, the audience really sucked.
Cedar City, everyone's just miserable.
Dude, every time I've gone to the movie in Cedar City, there's something wrong about it. Like, people don't know how to behave at the movie theater was most of it. Last night it was like too quiet. It was the opposite problem. There was one guy who pulled out his phone a couple times, and I almost wanted to tap him on the shoulder. I want to do this every time. I'm like, there's a part of me that just really wants to be a giant asshole, and I have to like take that part of me and I have to like scrunch it down. Yeah. Mostly because I'm a small guy, and if someone starts swinging, I'm probably gonna lose the fight. So, but I was like, "What? You can't leave home without your fucking screen crack?
Yeah.
Like, you can't." You can't fucking put that thing away. You're like 50 years old. What the fuck is wrong with you? You know how to live without a cell phone.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it drives me nuts when the boys do that. I'm like, can you just be like not occupied for 10 seconds? Like, can't you just relax, man? Like, oh, I'm kind of bored sitting here by the campfire with the stars out. I'm like, how are you bored? What the fuck would you be doing right now that's less interesting, more interesting than this? Just relaxing. Can't fucking relax without a screen? Like, goddamn.
I think when we were kids, you'd play night games.
Yeah.
Or you'd play with the fire.
Yeah, I mean, but down where we were in Dinosaur National Monument. Yeah, that fucker. The stars, the second night, it was like crazy. Like, you could see a shit ton of Milky Way and like planets. And I'm like, how are you bored? I go, can I go play Cuphead on the Switch? It's like, no, you can't. You're going to sit here. You're going to roast fucking marshmallows, and you're going to sit and eat and be fat and relax. But they can't, man.
Yeah, dude. I did tell you about the Babylon experience. I watched Babylon. And it was like, there was like 4 people in this fucking theater, right? Old motherfuckers in front of me. Like, old! Like, late 60s, maybe older. So people you would expect to be able to behave themselves at the fucking movie theater.
Yeah.
Lady pulls out her phone like half the fucking movie. And it just drives, if you're listening to this and you're like, man, Joe's just being a fuck. Hey, motherfucker, if you're going to pull out your phone, go sit in the back row. No one gives a shit if you're in the back row and you have your phone out. But if you're in the fucking front, your fucking light is brighter than the screen. Like, how is it not going to be annoying?
Yeah.
It's like the motherfuckers in the tall trucks with the LED lights. Like, it's the same feeling of just like, I'm here, I'm a person, and now I'm being shined a light in this dark place, and now I can't see anything except for that fucking light. So it's the same thing. This fucking old cunt has her phone out the whole time, and then in the middle of it, she starts playing a video with the sound on. And that's when I was mad the whole time, but I finally had it. I was like, hey, we're not in your fucking living room. And then the guy, this old fuck next to her goes, excuse me? And but then she got scared and put the phone away, and that was the end of it. but I wanted him to fight me. The movie's like 4 hours long. This is fucking Babylon we're talking about here, so there was time. Like, I was sitting there for an hour and a half watching that fucking screen, and she had the fucking audacity, like as if there was no one else in her fucking world, to pull out her phone and have the fucking sound on a fucking Instagram clip like she's like a 13-year-old girl.
Yeah,
oh man, and I wanted to beat the fuck out of her husband. I was ready for it. I was like, you old fucking fuck. I am ready to fight you. I'm in good shape right now, motherfucker. I will take you on. Oh, I wanted it. That was the only time in my life I wanted a fight. I was like, I'm gonna make you never come back.
I'm the same way with movies. Like, unless it's like the only exception is, we're doing this like summer movie pass through Cinemark with the kids, and it's like $2 a ticket or something, and it's like repeats of old movies. So I saw the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie from last year. I saw Shrek in theaters again, fucking like 20 years later. Like,
animation aged a little bit, huh?
Oh yeah. Some of it looks real fucking rough. Which I didn't remember, but now I do.
No, but it's just silly. It's just how you compare things through time.
Yeah. And a few other movies we saw. I think the Trolls movie, the last Trolls movie. But like in that, there's a ton of little kids, so I don't mind like noise and stuff like that.
Well, if it's a kid's movie it's a packed audience, that's kind of what you expect.
Yeah.
But I'd rather have the audience making noise than the fucking phone making noise.
For sure.
Personally,
I mean, even when I saw Paranormal Activity in theaters, I was yelling at a guy in front of me because he would not shut the fuck up. He was just talking like the whole time, and I like yelled right at him, like, "Shut the fuck up,
dude!" People do not know how to behave. I mean, I had to do that. I had to do that during The Grandmaster, which is like this artsy kung fu movie, and this guy obviously can't handle it, so he's making jokes to the person next to him, who's not responding, by the way. And I was like, "Hey man, shut the fuck up." And then he's like, "Oh, sorry." Never heard from him again. And I did use the F word, and I did use the F word with the old fuckers at Cinemark too, or the Megaplex too.
Yeah.
And I was like, I can't. Like, we are watching Babylon, so I assume they can handle it. But it's so
crazy,
mad.
Though.
I don't know why they can't get off. Now I'm a Luddite. I know. I'm putting the fucking shit away, and we now have a 9 p.m. policy in this house of putting the phone away. And when we're watching movies, my wife knows it's like that's a no phone time.
Yeah, I mean,
you might be able to check it, like you saw it light up, make sure it's something, and then put it away. But it's not hang out on the phone too.
Yeah, I mean, fuck, we're watching like Mr. Mercedes on Hulu Plus, which I think is actually a pretty good show. And she's like doing budget stuff, and I'm like getting pissed over like on the other side of the couch. I'm like, can you just fucking stop? She's like, I'm trying to catch this up. I'm like, I don't care. We're watching a show. Like, we're watching the show. We're not like fucking, I'm still paying attention. It's like, fuck that. This is my show. We're watching it. Like, your show, you could do that shit too. Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. I don't give a fuck if you're watching that, because I'm not. But when I'm watching it, we're all watching it.
Well, in my mind too, it's like millions of dollars and thousands of people, tons of hard work made the thing that we're watching. And we are going to disrespect all these artists and technicians with like half-ass watching it, not even really, in the background.
Yeah.
With our fucking other thing that's like, oh my God.
And at that point, that's where I get torn, and and for some people, like the shows that are shit are just like background noise. But it's like, well, that's what podcasts are
don't
for.
Watch shows that are shit.
I know, that's what my thing was. Is like, well, and then sometimes
I don't watch reality TV, dude.
And then
I can't watch
sometimes she'll
TV.
mix it in with like stuff that we watch, and that's when I like get really mad, and I'm like, hey, this is not a us show. This is a you show. This is a you not watching it really show, not like us sitting down.
This is you not being able to take the silence of life. That's what this is. This is like some sort of way to deal with anxiety of being alone in the universe and never really sure of your part in it. That's what that is like that feeling of loneliness that you get in the quietness.
Yeah.
So
And I'm over there trying to stab my eyes and ears out so that I get nothing but like quiet and solace and like nothing else. And it's the contrast there. But no, I'm the same way. Even with shows, it's like if I'm watching it, I want to watch it, or I don't want to watch it at all. Like I don't want to even be near it. So
no, and as a person who's tried to make a couple movies, like I find it super like disrespectful to the art form.
Yeah, and like it's really like if you can't handle it, don't just leave. Like if you got something else that's important, then go. Like I don't know what's good.
If it's actually important, which like whole lives spent without a cell phone. You can't leave it at home. You can't turn it on silent. And leave it in your pocket.
These old bastards, yeah.
These old fucks, dude. And they were the worst at it. They were the worst I've seen. I've never seen someone play a video with the sound on. Ever. I've seen people flip through their shit and text. And it's like, God, you better be a fucking lawyer. Like, you better have a fucking reason you need to be on that phone the whole time. Like,
dude, I even felt guilty when I pulled it out for a second when I was the only one in there watching Blade Runner. So it's like, no, I gotta watch this. This is really good. But I was gonna I can't remember what I was gonna do. I had like no sleep, and I just like nope, put it away, and then like stood up and watched the movie standing, like because no one was there.
Well, I swear to God,
even wrong then.
The people that pull them out, they all sit in the front row. They always sit in the front row. They never sit in the middle or in the back.
Yeah.
The people who pull out the phone, it's because they're nearsighted because they're staring at the fucking phone all day. So they have to be right next to the fucking screen. They have to be 2 feet away from the screen. So they have to show us all what they're looking at on their cell phone. I can see it. I'm farsighted, so I can see what they're looking at on their phone.
Yeah.
Drives me fucking nuts. All right. Sorry about that. Diatribe. Frost, it's okay that you don't find the ball joke funny.
Yeah. Just as long as you don't open your phone in a movie.
Yeah. Otherwise, I will find you and kill you. Probably not kill you. I'll probably just destroy your car or something.
Yeah, we'll definitely ban you from the server, though.
Shinryu says, review. After default, each Bravely game gets incrementally worse, just like the Mana series after the SNES. Second was just boring. Didn't like the story much. Didn't like the new characters. New locations were I didn't like how they went cheap mode and copy-pasted a lot of the assets from default, revisiting locations. I remember a lot of Bravely Default songs. I can't for the life of me remember any second songs. I also remember the plot twist being dumb this time and the final boss and stuff being dumb as well. 6 out of 10. It tried, but Default was way better even with the repeating stuff over and over.
Man, a common thread here.
Yeah, seeing the common thread. Okay, that's actually all. That's pretty much it. So we really got 2 reviews on Bravely Second. So,
I think in the Ultima talk, Brulo mentioned something.
Okay.
In response to people bitching about Bravely's.
I think he started the game and he said he was having a good time or something like that. Yeah, he was like,
I don't know why everyone's shitting on the second game. Like, I think it's great so far. So that's a light review from a guy who hasn't beaten it yet, as far as we know.
Yeah. Oh, this is... I've been playing Bravely Second and Layer to try to get it done for a review when the guys do that episode. Sorry, Brulo, you're too late. I really don't understand why people shit on this game. It's a blast so far. And then... he also says, I haven't played the first game, but the story is pretty good for NES/SNES RPG fare so far. The characters are pretty annoying, I guess. Gameplay is awesome, though.
Yeah.
The gameplay is, I think, the king in this game.
That's the point, yeah.
Personally. Yeah, I can see how the story is not as good. I think the plot probably isn't as good or as interesting. I think the characters are fun, but...
Yeah, it's weird that they changed the voice acting, though. I thought that was odd. I feel like they're not the same people.
There might have been enough of a gap where I'm not sure if I could tell.
Oh, okay. There was like zero gap for me.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I really had fun. I don't get with all like I guess I don't understand Shinryu's outside of the story. I guess maybe I can sympathize on the story, but the gameplay is so damn good that it's kind of like, whatever.
Yeah.
for me with the story stuff, but I know that's unusual from me, but it got decent reviews. It got a 36 out of 40 on Famitsu with 9.999. Metacritic is 81 out of 100, which is decent. Let's see, 7 out of 10 on GameSpot, 7.5 out of 10 on Game Informer. I think those might be a little low, but
Yeah. The reception, the game did get generally positive reviews, ended up selling about 700,000 copies by April 2017. So definitely sold a lot less. A lot fewer copies than the first game. That's kind of it for its legacy, I think.
well, let's see. On Wikipedia, it says North America, the game was the ninth best-selling game on its debut month of April 2016. Number 12 in the UK on all formats chart. Number 9 on the individual format chart. But let's see. Producer Tomoya Asano stated the reason of the game's title, Bravely Default 2, when they did the next game, was due to his belief that Bravely Second did not live up to fan expectations, and its critical and commercial underperformance made it difficult for the team to continue on the series. But they still did, so it must not have been a giant flop.
Yeah. I mean, that 700K isn't a bad sales for a game.
That's a decent sales for a 3DS.
Both of the other
title.
two have outsold it, but still, that's still pretty damn good.
Yeah.
And it was good enough, like you said, that they made a sequel. So
Yeah, they still continued the series. They didn't give up on it.
and they're still talking about continuing the series again. They say they gave the great Square Enix news that there will be news in the future.
Oh yeah, that's
So
my
later-
favorite.
Yeah, that's the best Square Enix news is news.
Yeah, we'll reveal something soon.
They're going to reveal a sequel to the next one this year, is what they're saying. What people are thinking.
Yeah.
So we should get another one. Bravely Third. They should just call it Bravely Third, just like every other one, just like fucking default back to Bravely Default.
The confusion. Okay, so Bravely Second 2. That was our Bravely Second review, by the way. Bravely Default 2. It is not really continuing the story of Bravely Default or Bravely Second. Like, none of the characters or anything.
Yeah, true.
So, when they make a sequel to Bravely Second or Bravely Default 2, god damn it, that's so fucking
they need to call it Bravely Default 2 too.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Bravely Default 2, Bravely Default 2 seconded.
and then they need to come out with Bravely Third, and then the next one needs to be Bravely Default 2 too.
Bravely Third will be a sequel to Bravely Second.
Yes.
Oh god.
Which is a sequel to Bravely Default, but Bravely Default 2 is not a sequel to Bravely Default, but Bravely Default 2 is a sequel to Bravely Default 2.
But in a way, Bravely Default 2 is the continuation of Bravely Default because it is called Bravely Default 2
as well.
So Bravely Default has 2 sequels.
One of which directly connected, one of which not.
Yeah.
Soon to be 2 of which directly connected, 2 of which not, if we get our way.
Bravely Default 2. Yeah, but they have pinned themselves in a corner. No, or not, because they fucking did that with Final Fantasy X too. Like, the first time there was a direct sequel to a Final Fantasy mainline, and they had the fucking audacity, the balls, as it were, to put 10-2.
Yeah. They don't care, man. They'll do whatever they want.
Like, don't we just call that 12? And they're like, no.
It's 10-2.
It's 10
Sequel to 10.
again.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy Bravely Default 2. Oh my god, terrible titles. Yeah, I'm surprised at the negative reception of this game. When I looked at like a story outline on YouTube today, one of the video thumbnail things that popped up, I didn't watch it, but it was like, why Bravely Second ruined the series or whatever. It was some title like that, and I'm like, am I in opposite world? Am I the crazy one here? I enjoyed this game.
Yeah.
I had a lot of fun playing this game. There's like maybe the village is more cool than the moon, but the moon is still basically the same function.
Yeah, it's just a lazy copy of the first one.
Sure, yeah, lazy copy of the first one, but everything else is a improvement.
Yeah.
In terms of the gameplay on the first one. And I was not blown away by the story of the first Bravely Default, so the fact that the second game has a slightly less good story
isn't a big deal.
I kind of shrugging that one off, honestly. The games, in my mind, if we're going to rank them, neck and neck for me. They're both great, a lot of fun, really good throwbacks, really good gameplay. Maybe I just played this one better, but I like the gameplay more on this one. I had more fun on this one. Yeah, maybe the story's not quite as good, but I didn't think the story was that good in the first one. So, and I was humming music on both the games. They both looked the same, so I can't. Maybe that's a negative on Bravely Second that it didn't like step it up.
Yeah,
but it was on the same system, and there was a good looking game. The first one was on that system. So, yeah, whatever, man. I'm ranking this one slightly higher than the first one. I think they're both about the same, but I had more fun on this one. So, Bravely Second. End Layer over Bravely Default of Phileas Ferry or whatever.
Yeah. And then, of course, Final Fantasy IV Heroes of Light.
And then Final Fantasy IV Heroes of Light, yeah.
Yeah, my ranking is the same. And for a long time, it wasn't. For a long time, I was like, oh, there's a lot, because there's a lot of rehashed stuff. Like, the plot points hit the same place. But then, near the end of the game, once I started doing the chomp stuff, I'm like, this game basically has everything the first game has, but a little bit better. Except the story is worse. But I was on the same boat. I was like, I didn't really love the story in the first game, so I kind of don't really give a shit. And I agree. I think Bravely Second End Layer is just a teeny bit better than Bravely Default. They're both really good.
Yeah.
They're both a lot of fun, but this one, the grind is improved on even more.
Yep.
So, yeah. Fuck you guys. This one's better. I think it's more fun. And it's more balanced, and they added a little bit more stuff, like the chomp craft, bro. Like, you got do you even chomp? Bro?
Do you not chomp, bro? All these people, they didn't chomp. That's why they don't like the game as much.
Obviously, you didn't chomp. But yeah, I agree. It's slightly better, and it's like they're almost the same. Like, they're both really good.
Yeah.
And they're both better than IV Heroes. But
all right. Well, that's our episode of Bravely Second End Layer. Excuse me.
Yeah. Easy. Can't forget the rest of the title.
Bravely Default 2 is going to be our next game. So, in our last official game for Ultimate Final Fantasy, the Ultimate Final Fantasy podcast, we will be doing other episodes. So, just because that episode comes out doesn't mean that's the end. The end, we'll have an episode that'll be called like Finale or 10 years of UFF or something.
Yeah, I mean, we already used Finale Fantasy.
Yeah, we did use
5 years ago,
which was when we beat all the official Final Fantasy games.
The next one should be Finale Fantasy 2 End Layer or End Podcast.
End Podcast Layer.
Yeah.
Something like that. So that'll be the actual end.
Yeah.
So please give us your reviews for Bravely Default 2.
Yeah, pick it up if you haven't already. It's a recent game, 2021, I believe.
Yep. And we're halfway through it, so it's going to be pretty soon.
Wait, what chapter are you on?
Chapter 3.
Okay, you're halfway
second half of Chapter 3.
I've just started Chapter 2.
The plan is to review it in 2 weeks from the recording of this episode, which is August 4th.
Okay, so we're halfway through.
So, when we go up for Megadeth on August 17th, that's the plan to review it. But then again, we had a plan to review this game, and we had to delay it for 2 weeks. So
yeah, we'll see.
Who knows? But as soon as you hear this, if you've played Bravely Default 2, please give us a review in the review and questions area in the Discord. Guys, check out our Discord channel. Check out Magic Mind, and a special thank you to them for supporting this podcast. Go check out their product. Link in the description below. Final Fantasy 20 is the code. And check out our other podcast, the Godzilla podcast, New Clan, a video game podcast. If you haven't checked out that one already, I think you guys, if you enjoyed this show, you'll probably enjoy that one. If you enjoy offensive video game kind of based podcasts, you can enjoy that one.
Sort of, yeah.
Where we're also playing Conan Exiles. If you want to join us in the Conan Exiles server, we're going to be playing that for a few more weeks. Information also in the Discord and the Nude Clan area for that. Is there anything else?
I don't think so. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. And until next time, enjoy the grind.